November 20th, 2 days before Thanksgiving, a lot of people in this room, city officials, the Partnership for Economic Development, was essentially offered an opportunity to look at a donation of 200,000 square feet of mall proper. But with that comes a lot of risk. It comes for an organization like us that's not built to be landlords. Opportunity is always the best of things, and it can be the worst of things. And so our team took that internally and we said, okay, let's look at a few different things. We had a short window of time 2 days before Thanksgiving to December 31st to make this decision. Was there demand or potential demand for utilization of the space that was given to us by potential clients we already had? Did our organization have the capacity to undertake this large task, AKA risk? We're already doing a lot of other projects. Is this something we could even handle? Did we have the skill sets? 3, what partners did we need to understand the platform and execute on potential? And then 4, finally, and I think most importantly, what did the major tenants in the space expect from us? Did they think our vision was okay? Did they think it was on the right track? Did they hate it? And so we needed a lot of things to go that way. We were lucky that for us, when we started talking about retail, new retail, they would stop us and say, we are retail. Don't explain that game to us. And they understand it extremely well. We were already working with potential clients, which you'll meet one of them right now, which Building 4000 is what we've identified for them. We had to hire Consolidated Construction. You might know them for building the views in our town that's just about ready to be completed. But we had to look at the current business model that they're operating on, and could we turn this facility in with a forward-facing retail potential to sell, but also to sell in something that we will talk about in a minute, which is called omni-channel or click bricks, something that is incredibly alive in retail and is very much alive in this center, as all 3 major tenants are they're fulfillment partners, right? They make sales right out of their stores. Not everything is a person going and picking it up. Someone's just a picker, goes, puts it in a bag, and sells it right out of here. We needed a legal team to understand what we didn't know, which was huge since we're not in that business. We needed phase 1 environmentals. We needed everything you can imagine to make a decision by the time the 31st came under. And then finally, we needed partners to know specifically in commercial development what we didn't know. And we partnered with Desert Land Group. Luke Steele has been an incredible partner in helping us achieve this. I want to talk really quickly before I get to the most important stuff. This was key. So, as part of the donation, one of the reasons there was a donation is because the operation was not healthy, as you can understand. It was losing about $400,000 a year. And for this to be a successful operation, to move forward, to expand, you cannot be in a negative territory. So the operation had to be right size. We had to utilize technology and a bunch of other stuff that I won't go into. But here's the key thing that I do really want to talk about. The 4 partners that donated this each gave $100,000 in a reinvestment fund, and those funds are to be only spent in the shops of Lake Havasu for the benefit of this going forward. That was Elliot, Scott, Toby McFarland, Randy Rivera, and Greg Rivera, who I want to point out is here. Can you raise your hand, Greg? Greg, by far, is the most active on-the-ground owner. He owns the mini parcels here. He's still a partner. He has out parcels that we want to develop, and he is here. He was on a tractor last night when I talked to him at 8 o'clock at night, and he still drove up here. He is 100% invested in what this space is going to do. And from day one, he was, I'm concerned about Lake Havasu, I'm concerned about the shops, I'm concerned about the community, nothing can go down. And he really, essentially, out of the owners group, he's the heart and soul of them, and I appreciate him being here. But those funds will help get to our the ultimate goal, which is to get occupancy up, to enhance the entertainment, which is restaurants. We all know that. We want restaurants. And then to right-size the operation, where we're using technology, security cameras, and in-house maintenance crews. I won't break into Jared's talk. And that's a perfect segue. So before I bring up the new owner, we had two potential clients that were looking at the space. One that we'll meet later, Tom and Megan in our pampered home, and then Jared Ports, who has a very similar company in Reno, Nevada, employs about 100 people. And we were working on another project together, and we started walking him through the space, and he immediately started seeing potential, and the conversations grew over time to where we ultimately were able to arrive at the fact that he would be the new owner and that he had the right tools. Jared is a very humble person, but he's really, I believe, the right person that's destined to make a change here. Why? Because he's a private equity guy, but what he really does is he turns companies around, or he accelerates their growth. He has a vision for this space, but also he's very well connected with other people that can realize this on a bigger capacity. So with that, I want to bring up Jared Ports for a few comments.
Well, thank you all for being here. My name is Jared Ports, and any of you who know me know this is probably the first time I've ever worn a suit. Generally, you'll find me in a t-shirt, flip-flops, and that. A little bit about my background. I grew up in Lake Havasu. I moved to Lake Havasu when I was in junior high. So I've been here a very long time. I went to high school here. I'm a fighting knight. Played for the sports teams here and met my beautiful wife, Christy, here. And we've started a family. We have kids that go to the schools here, and we participate in soccer and baseball, and work with folks around the community in a lot of different capacities. We were really fortunate to have a business that was a distribution company in Lake Havasu before. We had a very high employment rate here. We took up about 50,000 square feet down on London Bridge Road, and we did distribution across the country. And we sold that business in 2011, and since then we've been, like James said, in the private equity business, which essentially means we invest in people, we invest in opportunities, and we invest in companies to help throw gas on fires for really talented, smart people. And so, we're not in the business of necessarily creating or doing anything monumental. We're really sharp operators in the fact that we take advantage of every small detail to make sure that we're sustainable and we can be a viable entity over a long period of time. And so we were in the process of purchasing a business that's very similar to Tom and Megan's business. It's a omni-channel retailer across the country. We have distribution centers in Nevada, and Arkansas, and Maryland, and we do business across the country and really all over the world. And looking at that, the plan was talking with James about relocating our West Coast facilities to Lake Havasu. Not necessarily because it's the most ideal place, because that's where home is, that's where family is, and we want to be a bigger part of the community and add jobs and you know, I know it sounds corny, but I really love this community, and I think that it's an underutilized community for a lot of reasons, but I think, you know, we've got a lot of potential, and so if we can get on the path of some of the big cities like Nevada, who has seen industrial growth, not just from entertainment. You know, we're a baby Las Vegas, right? We're an entertainment type of community, but we need industrial to have a really sustainable long-term path as those other things ebb and flows. And so when we were talking with James, we were looking at that, and this opportunity came up. Looking through it, it was not due to a ton of effort on Mr. Rivera's part and his team. It was a very tough business case. And so when we looked at that, we had to do a lot of things that in-source things, pull things inside, and try and get the operations on track. But we also had to get to work right away on looking at what we could do with the space. And so James and his team had Tom and Megan, who they had teed up a really long way in terms of a large space here that they'll talk about. You know, I have use for space as well for my businesses, but we also needed to use all of our resources and to do that to get other folks in that will help us to transform and reimagine the space so that we get foot traffic, so they shop at Walmart more often, so they go to Penny's more often. We can support the businesses who've been really key in making this what it is even today. And so, you know, we're very, very excited about the opportunities. Super excited to have the community here and support of this. We are in the process of going through all of the right channels to make sure that we make sure everybody knows what's going on and what our changes are going to be and how that affects the space. But as James mentioned, retail has changed, right? In 2008, when this was commissioned, the largest retailer in the world was Walmart, and now it's Amazon. And so that's not a long period of time for that to have happened, and so that's happening very quickly. And speaking with Tanya, they're doing a lot of initiatives to use their horsepower and to do the things to compete in that marketplace, and they do a fantastic job already. And I believe that, you know, Walmart and Penny's and our big anchors here are positioned to help us, you know, move into the future of that way. But retail has changed, and so retail is not the same as it was. Foot Locker doesn't have any expansion plans, and Victoria's Secrets doesn't have expansion plans, and so we have to reimagine what that means and how we can utilize a beautiful facility to do exactly what James said, and that's to have employment and to get jobs here. And when we get 50 jobs here, and when we get another 50 jobs here, and we get another 50 jobs here, that helps support a great restaurant for 360 Deli. Thank you guys. It helps support potentially other great restaurants that will come in and create a entertainment hub for the north side of our town. You know, we have car shows here. We've got lots of events here that I'm learning all about. But this is a great facility that has been underutilized, and it's not due to a lot of effort. But I think to James's point, the timing for our side is great. You know, my background has given me the ability to tap into resources that are outside of Lake Havasu. Most of my business doesn't reside in Lake Havasu, so we've got a lot of partners that are really good friends. They're flying in to Lake Havasu to look at restaurant space. They're flying in to look at different space for different things, and these are really big players that want to do great things that are going to hopefully bring some things to the table that is a little bit different for our town, and will give folks the reason to not only come to Penny's and to Walmart, but to stay here for a while to, you know, to spend some time with us. And so, you know, we're excited. We look forward to the process of this, and appreciate your support. You know, we think this can be done, and we believe that it can be done with the support of all of you. So.